it's time for another exciting episode of Harvest Moon Back to Nature. And I say exciting in the sort of serious manner. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of excitement that goes on in this game at this point. We have basically covered the bulk of everything. Let's see. I do remember that we were planting grass, and that I think I wanted to go check to see if the celery seeds had come in. I also I don't remember if this episode is going up before the monthly update video or after, so some of the stuff that's on my mind that I would be talking about, I don't know if I can talk about it yet, because it might be, you know, like I said, this might be out before that update video, and if it is, then it's going to not necessarily spoil some things, but some information will be out there before it needs to be. So I gotta think of something else to talk about. But while I do that, we are almost done with fall. Which means we are almost done with year 2. Because I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, winter in year 2, there's not much to do. We've already, you know, we got our house upgrades and all that already taken care of. We have the girl of our dreams. We've got a pretty successful farm. We've got wood. We got some wood stocked up. I mean, I guess we could chop some wood in winter, but honestly, unless the hothouse gets destroyed, there's nothing we can use the wood for. Except for building fences, but I mean, we're not going to do that at this point. Fences in this game do not serve a purpose to me. Some of you may prefer to keep your livestock outside, and fences are useful to you. But fences have no purpose for me. None at all. So, winter will really just be feed the chickens, get the eggs, get the milk, go to bed. I mean, we're gonna knock out... We could probably knock out winter, honestly, if I go back to the 1 hour long episodes, we could probably knock out winter in one go. And I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of thinking about that. I mean, there are some festivals in there, but I mean, we'll spend, you know, just 2 or 3 minutes on each day. Except for the festival days, obviously. You know, those we might spend 5 minutes on. Oh, but yeah, there's stuff. There's some big stuff in the update video. Like I said, I don't know if it's coming out before or after this video goes up. So, I don't want to say too much. But there are definitely some changes that are going to happen. Mostly for the good. Some might think that the changes aren't so great, but don't you walk out that door. But I mean, I gotta do what's best for me, right? And I mean, that's how everybody should be approaching things. You gotta do what's best for you. And damn, I wish I could talk about it. hey, our strawberries are ready. And our pineapples are getting close. But I guess if I can't talk about it, I need to just keep talking about something else. So I guess what I can talk about is over this past weekend, at least it should be, yeah, because it had already happened. Yeah, okay. I had to make sure that this was going up this week and not next week. I definitely know this is going up this week. I just don't know if it's going up before the update video. But over this weekend, over on Universal Nerd, posted a video. It's a video that I'm sort of proud of, but not proud of. Yeah, myself and Omar did the Carolina Reaper challenge. And personally, I am a purveyor of spicy foods. I love spicy food. Like Texas Pete hot sauce, that's fucking water. I get like all kinds of like fancy hot sauces from all over the place. I go to the places that they serve hot wings to the point where you have to sign a waiver before you can eat them. I love spicy food. Oh, those are spinach plants, not celery. So, damn, I really don't want to plant those. But at least we know they have them. Anyway, like I was saying, I love spicy foods. And keep that in mind if you go over there and watch the video. It's on the Facebook page. That, you know, I've been eating spicy foods and all that stuff basically since I was like 5 or 6. And no lie, it was fucking hot. But I think Omar was a lot worse off than I was in it. Because he was in some pain. But, you know, me, it was hot, but it wasn't unbearable. But, now, it did hurt for a good 15-20 minutes. You know, you could feel it deep inside. Just, honestly, the only way I can describe it is it kind of felt like there was a hand inside my stomach just kind of like pushing out and squeezing at the same time. It was a fucked up feeling. Now, Omar, on the other hand, he had it pretty rough. Now, he is not as accustomed to spicy foods as I am. So, like, he's down, you know, jalapeno habanero level, which is way lower than the Reaper. After we cut the camera which is just about a 15-minute long video with no edits. After we cut the camera, he probably was still trying to compose himself for probably another 20-30 minutes. But we both survived, and I guess that's what matters, right? Yeah. Will I do it again? Well, go watch the video, and you'll find out. Alright, I don't think we're going to make it to this festival today. It's the Sheep Festival anyway. That's worthless. But yeah, things are definitely starting to pick up over at Universal Nerd. And, you know, it's pretty exciting. I got some thoughts that I'd really like to share, but this video is not the best place to do it on, you know, the end of TOC and all that stuff. There's a little bit of an untold story, so to speak, that I've kind of been having the need to share with y'all, because even though we made that end of an era video and all that, it didn't tell the whole story. And like I said, I don't want to get into this video because that's one of those things where I really want to sit down and make sure I cover everything and not have a distraction, and, you know, if I feel myself getting angry while I'm talking about it, it might be necessary to take a break, take a step back, and then finish. You know, take a couple of minutes off. But that's not gonna be in this video. But I do have plans to make another video to talk about all that. In fact, during my sick time, one of the little highlight reel clip show, whatever you want to call it, updates, I had an idea for a new show, and I think that story may be more suited for that show. I'm still working it out in my head as to how I want to handle that show and what to call it. 'Cause that's the hardest fucking thing these days. It's coming up with a name that hasn't already been used, sounds good, and explains exactly what it is. I mean, I could call it fucking Purple Egg Drop, and nobody's ever used it, but does it sound good? There are stupider things that already exist, but does it explain what it is? No, not at all. And that also goes along with the other thing that I wish I could talk about, but it actually hasn't happened yet. But I've been mulling over a decision, and it's come up a couple of times, and the more I think about it, the more I lean in a certain direction towards it. But because I haven't taken that step yet, I don't feel like it would be a good idea for me to talk about it. If nothing else, just from a sign of good faith that, you know, like, I'm not bashing anybody or taking sides with anybody or anything like that until after it's already done. Like, don't want to give any cause to start any biased opinion. Or say something that could be taken the wrong way before I actually make the move, or display the final decision, or, you know, whatever it is that I'm talking about. And yes, I am trying to be vague on purpose, because I don't want it to get out there before I've had a chance to take the steps in a professional manner, or a... Well, I mean, I guess professional manner does cover pretty much any way to approach it. Because with anything that you do, you want to do it with putting your best foot forward. Even if you feel like the confrontation that you're having is with somebody who doesn't see things the way you do, you still want to approach it and put your best foot forward, so that even if the conversation does start to go south, at least you know that you put in the effort to keep it civil. And you can take that however you prefer to take it. I mean, I just feel like that's good advice for pretty much any situation where you don't feel comfortable and you need to make that known. But yeah, I think that's enough of, you know, the super serious talk. I don't even think I meant to get into that right now. As for the game, we got just about all of our crap watered. And we're about to go ahead and hit our third day. Which again, when we hit wintertime, these days are going to go by so much faster because, I mean, there's fucking nothing to do. Did I already hit the hothouse? I can't remember. Yeah, they look watered. But anyway, we've had all the super serious talk. Oh, I don't think I gave my opinion, like, fully on the Carolina Reaper. It was fucking hot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And, you know, again, I've been eating spicy foods basically my entire life. But I'm gonna be straight with y'all. I totally forgot to take care of the cows. Fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna be straight with y'all. Some of those videos of people doing the Carolina Reaper challenge, in my opinion, some of them hyped it up because, oh, they're in so much more pain, so, you know, it'll get more views. I could be wrong. That's a very good possibility that I'm wrong. But in my opinion and now experience, it was fucking hot, but some of those reactions, I don't know if they were justified. I mean, you can even use Omar as an example. He's not a spicy food person. And yeah, he was in pain. But you watch some of those other videos of, you know, people that have done spicy stuff before, and like it really does seem like they just kind of overdo it. And I mean, I can understand that. Not everything in a live action skit video is always as what it seems. And on that same note, I understand that if you portray yourself in a certain way, it does have an influence on how well your video will do. For instance, people love fail videos, and the majority of fail videos are people getting hurt, so therefore people like to watch other people get hurt. And if the Carolina Reaper is among the spiciest things that you could possibly ingest, if you act like it hurts way more than it does and ham it up for the camera, you're gonna send the message that, you know, it fucking hurts. And for whatever reason that people like to see people get hurt, it's gonna get shared more and more and more. Now, with that said, I very rarely will reach for the milk after eating something spicy. Like, if I get milk, you know it's fucking hot. And I did have to go for the milk. Now, I also did try to tough it out as much as I could, but there was a point where it did hurt, and I needed the milk for relief. But I didn't, like, chug it constantly. Like, I'd do just enough to get the pain away for a couple of seconds, and then it was back to, alright, how long can I hold out before I need it again? And I don't know, I guess that's really all I can say, because I know everybody will have a different reaction to it based on, you know, your pain tolerance and your spice experience and all that. But I don't know. Like I said, I feel like some of those people hammed it up, and I don't blame them for doing that. You see an opportunity, you take it. And if that's your opportunity and it works for you, then bravo. But me personally, I was not going to ham it up just for the camera. When I say it hurt, it legitimately hurt. When I said it wasn't that bad, it wasn't that bad. And there were phases of both of those experiences during that video. Now, in Omar's case, But again, he has a lot less spice experience, so it's a little bit different approach for him. But he was definitely in some pain, and you know, I don't know what was going through his head or anything like that, but I think he might have been legitimately worried there for a couple of minutes. Of course, you know, this is not poking fun at him or pointing blame or anything like that, but he also did make the mistake of laying down, which, even though we discussed in length not to do, I guess just in the, no pun intended, heat of the moment, he forgot about it, and he laid down, and the heartburn factor is definitely there, and you know, when you lay down, that opens the door for heartburn. Now, I did not lay down, so the laying down and the heartburn, that may have been the majority of his pain. I don't know. We sort of talked about it after the fact, but it was also kind of one of those things where it was like, alright, it's over and done with. It's still in our bodies, and you know, you can still feel the pain, so let's just not talk about it so we can get over this. But I'm sure at our next AMA live stream, I'm sure that will come up and we'll have to talk about it. I think I would honestly be surprised if it did not come up. But somehow I think we ended up talking the majority of this episode about that event. Which, I mean, I don't have a problem with. I mean, I just happened to look over and realize that, you know, it's already been close to 30 minutes. And I think we only did like 3 days in game time. But I think that's where I'm gonna call it. Especially since Harvest Moon is kind of a... There's a good bit to talk about with Harvest Moon in the monthly update. So, if that's out and you haven't seen it yet, I would say go check that out to see what's going on. You know, for the most part, I wouldn't say that it's bad, but it's definitely gonna be a change. Damn, I still got 8 bags of seeds left. But anyway, one of the things that will definitely be addressed is in the March update video, I said that I was going to be doing 5 days a week, which I had intentions of doing. But then when I was on vacation, I got sick, and you know, it was just basically impossible for me to record while barely being able to talk. And I know that's kind of a shitty excuse, But I would rather not put content out than put content out that sounded like shit. Did I not water any of this? I guess I didn't. Well, fuck. Also, I would like to make it clear that at no point am I choosing Universal Nerd over this channel, but it's more of an extension, basically. Like, I enjoy making content over here, and I enjoy making content over there. The content over there is slightly different because we do strive for a PG rating over there. Over here, I fucking don't give a fuck. And I have the freedom to do that. And they have no problem with me advertising my stuff over there, or vice versa. But there is a slight difference in content. But in no way am I choosing favoritism one way or the other. I just felt like that needed to be addressed, just in case that was a thought. But yeah, this is where I'm going to end the episode. So, thank you for watching. As always, check those links in the description, and I will see you next time.